And now, another exciting episode of As the River Churns.
Good afternoon, everyone. We've kind of changed it up a little bit today. So I have taken over Tom's desk. Cindy has kind of taken over my spot. Now, we may have Tom just come in here in a second. You never know.
You don't know what's happening next, but I say we declare this Girl Power Hour.
Ooh, I like it.
I like it. Girl Power
Girl
Hour.
Power Hour.
And then if Tom walks in, you guys can do a collective boo in your living room, right?
And you should call into the show and say, oh, don't call into the show. Brian does not want to take any more calls than he has to. So I take that back.
He can handle it.
He can handle it.
It's Girl Power Hour, so
That's
he
right.
can handle it.
It's so strange being behind the desk, Cindy.
I know.
This is like,
look,
I don't know.
I keep trying to think of how I can emulate you, and you have that infamous laugh that I love to pick on you about, where at the end you'll laugh and you'll go, hoo-hoo-hoo, or ho-ho-ho, or...
Like that?
Not like that, but obviously I need to practice. But
Are you going to do the kiss at the end?
Of course I am.
Okay.
What are you going to do since you can't do the kiss? What does Tom do?
I'll have to think about it.
You have to sit there. You'll sit there stoically while I blow the kiss.
I love it. Okay.
All right.
So the photo of the day. Did you get a
Yes.
chance to look at it, Cindy?
I did not.
It was a ventriloquist picture, and it said this is the perfect time to be a ventriloquist because with the mask on,
I like it.
anybody, we all could be one right now.
I like
So that was a good picture.
That's good.
Okay. Guest today is Cindy.
Hello. Hey, y'all.
So we're going to have a lot of exciting things
Yes,
today.
we are.
And we're going to go ahead and get started with the trivia question.
Okay.
Okay?
I can't wait.
Okay. So we've kind of changed it up last minute here because we thought maybe we've already done this one. So we've changed it up. So this question today is actually from Michelle Jones.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay.
It's going to be hard.
It's going to be a hard one.
She's smart.
And the prize today
Is
a
this
river landing hat
lovely river landing hat.
and a $10 gift card to Target.
I started to say there's something on the flap that looks a lot like a gift card.
There's a wonderful gift card.
That's
So we all
beautiful.
love Target.
You can buy a shirt to match the hat.
You could, absolutely. You know what we forgot, Cindy?
We forgot to turn, and y'all say a little prayer for me because I'm not well versed on this.
It's going
and
to be challenging.
I would hate to be the one that drops the hourglass. Dun 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 dun.
Woohoo!
Yay!
Okay, girl power can even go longer now.
Girl Power Hour. That's it.
Oh. Okay, so today, Michelle has stepped out, so Brian is going to be fielding the calls today, and he loves it when you all call him. So we're going to go ahead and give out his number first. It's 336-389-4111, and many of you probably know that because of bingo night,
Yes,
right?
yes. And
That's tonight.
it is. And if you
So-
want to call a few extra times just to torture Brian and mess with him, you have my okay to do that.
He loves it.
He loves it.
Okay, so here's the question. Who was the 23rd president? Who was the 23rd president? And the phone is already ringing.
Oh,
People
my
were ready to
goodness.
go.
I don't know that.
I didn't
Do you
either.
know that off the top of your
I
head?
had to look it up.
Yeah.
So I did not know. I did not know it. And if you know what years, that's just an extra bonus. So just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
That if you know the years that he was president, that would be great too. Just throw out some extra little trivia for us.
Apparently we need it.
I
You
think
and
I think we do.
we need
I
the
think we do.
information.
We need a little help with that.
Yes.
Okay, so as usual, we start with our stats. So we're going to take a look at where we're at today from our last time we were on the air was on Tuesday. So going since then, we are over 2 million completed tests now.
Wow.
I mean, it's crazy. So that's 52,000 more than we were at on Tuesday.
Oh, my goodness.
So they were averaged about 26,000 since then. It's just amazing to think they can even do that many in a day. So,
I know.
Crazy stuff. So that is, let's see, completed laboratory confirmed cases. We have 149,904. That's 3,125 cases more than what we had on Tuesday.
Wow.
So looking at that percentage, we're right at that 6% mark. So we've been kind of holding at that right now is what we've been seeing.
But it was up a week or so ago.
It was.
A couple weeks ago.
So we've still been slowly coming down.
So we did a little drop, and now we're kind of flatlining.
We did.
Right?
Yep. So that's good.
Yes.
Unfortunately, deaths have increased by 69. We're at 2,465 deaths for our state, which is always unfortunate. Yeah. We have 3 less in the hospital than we did on Tuesday, so we're at 1,023. So that's
positive
it
because
is.
You had more confirmed cases, but a little drop in the hospitalization. So
right.
That's good. We'll take the good news where we can find it, right?
Absolutely. And we were looking at how many people do you think are in the state of North Carolina?
Well, I was in on that conversation, so I kind of know the answer. But before that, if you would have asked me, I would have said, maybe 5 or 6 million.
That's what I was thinking, but we are at 10.5 million for our state, which is amazing. I just didn't realize that.
I was surprised by that. Mm-hmm. I really was, because I didn't think it was that many.
Right, I didn't either. So when you look at that, for cases, it's 1.4% of our 10.5 million. So when you look at it like that, it's you think of bigger numbers, but when you put it in perspective like that, it's just interesting to compare that.
Yeah, no cases are good, but somehow that one something percentage is.
Because in my mind, it just seemed higher than that. But
I agree.
And cases, let's see, we have some other statistics here. For the USA, we have had 5.7 million cases. India, 2.9 million cases. Brazil, 3.5 million. And Russia, 1 million. So it's interesting to break out different countries, kind of how we compare with those.
Wow.
So, yes. Let's see. In Forsyth County, we've had an increase of 80 cases. In Guilford County, an increase of 140. In Durham, an increase of 61. And Wake, an increase of 316, which they've been on the higher end to begin with, larger counties too. Mecklenburg, an additional 275 cases. So that's kind of the breakdown with the 5 counties that Tom typically reports on. But that's the statistics for today, so not much else to share there.
Okay.
Wanted to just talk a little bit again about, we've been working on a visitation policy, some changes to that coming up in the near future.
Yeah.
So Cindy's been a big part of that, of kind of trying to work through some things of what we're looking at. We were hoping to have it out this week. I think it's looking more like next week that we'll be advertising some of our upcoming changes, which won't begin until sometime in September is what we're anticipating. So we're still working on that. Just like we close things systematically, we're opening things systematically. So it's a work in progress, and we never do anything lightly here. We always really think through it and make sure it's the right decision. And just a couple weeks ago, we did open up that folks that weren't driving anymore.
Yes.
They were able to have their families come in and pick them up, just not come in our main buildings or in your homes. So I think that was a good step, too, to be able to have that option for folks that maybe don't drive anymore. Just helps be able to give folks an option to get off campus for a little bit and still do it in a safe way.
Well, it's hard when you're in the same place all the time.
It is.
We recognize that, and we recognize, too, we talk about a lot that the negative side of the safety requirements is that isolation. And so if there are ways we can safely, provide that, then we definitely want to do it.
Right.
And, this first plan will be very restricted.
Sure.
But like everything else, we will gradually, hopefully, be able to continue to progress in that way. So I look forward to being to folks being able to do a little bit more and see their families. Yep. I know it's hard.
Absolutely. And just to tying in with those safe visits, the 3 W's, Cindy.
Yes.
We keep preaching that. I mean, I know you get sick of us hearing it. But it's something, I think the more we on that and continue just to remind ourselves about that.
Yeah.
The safer we are when we do leave campus, too. You keep that in mind always.
That's right. And it does start to, when it gets drilled in your head like that, the repetition, though, we know it's annoying. It's annoying.
Right.
It's annoying for us, too.
And we remind each other. 'Cause,
Yes.
we'll catch ourselves. I'll catch myself heading out of my office to run somewhere quick. Oh,
Yep.
I forgot my mask, so I have to run back and get it. So even though we've been in this, almost 6 months now, or right at 6 months?
Long time, it feels like.
You'd think it would be automatic, but it's not. We all forget.
We do.
Majority of the time I remember, but there's still times where I have to remind myself.
Yeah,
So
and so the more we hear it, the more it becomes kind of a habit, I
Right,
guess.
right,
Of
yeah.
If we're out and about, I'm in the habit now of I have, like a lot of people, I keep sanitizer in my car. So
Absolutely.
before I get out of the car, if I have to go anywhere, and when I get back in the car, I do that. And, a year ago, I didn't think about doing
No,
that on a
no.
regular basis. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
I think there's a lot of things that I will want to keep going even after we hopefully get through this COVID
Yeah.
thing. It's still good practice.
I think so.
The gas stations. I never thought about it before when I'd go up and pump gas. I'm always grabbing the handle. I didn't even think about how many hundreds of people have probably touched that handle that day.
Or grocery stores.
Absolutely.
That's something
Yes.
for me, which, we encourage, try to do delivery and pick up.
Right,
But
right.
still, when you have, I had some delivered the other day, and I took the can out to put in the pantry, and I thought, I wonder how many people have touched this can,
Right,
and
right.
I never would have thought
I
about
wouldn't have
that
thought
before.
of that before either.
Yeah.
But you just think of things differently now. I mean, going through this pandemic, it's just a whole different way of thinking about things. And I wonder how many things will stick with us even after we're safe.
I think that the hand washing for me constantly, before
Sure,
and after
sure.
things, and, not just the routine things we did before, but,
Right,
yeah.
right.
So some good habits,
Right,
right?
absolutely. Because even some of those habits that we're learning during the COVID would work during flu season,
Sure.
right?
Yes.
I mean, the hand washing, all of that would be helpful.
And paying attention to how far away you are from people,
Right, right,
because
right.
flu season is the same
It
challenge.
is, it is.
Yeah.
And we're kind of coming up onto that
I
season.
know.
It's not
I
here
know.
yet, but we are coming upon that.
Yeah.
So just being diligent about following the 3 W's. Wash your hands, wear your mask, and waiting 6 feet. So,
And don't you think, too, for me, I know I've gotten, I think, better at self-care. And by that, I mean, I try consciously to drink more water,
sure.
to get plenty of rest, to
Right.
take
your vitamins. Right.
to
right.
eat things that are good for me, because I'm more aware overall of my health than I
Sure,
was
sure.
before. So,
And how important it is to stay healthy.
yes.
So we can be
yes.
able to even work here and serve here.
That's
So,
right.
Absolutely.
So I've become a lot more conscientious than I
Right.
was before.
Absolutely.
So that's a good thing.
It's
too.
good.
Yeah.
Good thing. One more safety reminder. We're on safety today.
Okay.
I don't know where Homer Honeycakes is, but he should be here, and he's not. So please, please, please walk on our sidewalks and not the road.
Yes.
So we've had more of an uptick on that, of folks walking on our roads. I know there's a few locations here that you do have to walk on the road. There might not be a sidewalk in every location. So we do understand that. But if you have to do that, please stay as close to the side of the road as possible.
Yes.
And not just for your safety. There's a lot of folks driving around on our campus. We have a lot of residents, we have staff members, we have the daycare that comes through here, we have vendors that still have to deliver product to us. So there's just a lot of potentials, and we just worry about your safety out on our roads.
Yeah. That's
And as a
good.
reminder, what is the speed limit, Cindy?
18 miles an hour. 18 miles an hour.
So
Yeah.
please follow that speed limit as
Yeah,
well.
it is important, because we do, especially now, people are out more because
Right,
there's not a
right.
lot else to do. So
Yep.
we just want everybody to stay as safe as they can. And
Yep.
I have to watch myself, honestly, when I'm
Right.
coming in.
Yes.
I just try to keep an eye on my odometer. How fast am I?
Right, right.
Speedometer, rather. How fast am I going? Because it's important.
Right, it is. And one more safety reminder.
Oh, my goodness.
I
Okay.
know.
We're
It's
going to be
related.
we're going to
We're
be
gonna be
so
so safe.
safe.
So it is related to our gates.
Okay.
So we talked about this, I think about 2 weeks ago, about making sure not to piggyback behind another car when you come into the property. So when you come in and you have a fast pass, the gate's going to raise up for you. But if you're coming behind that person that the gate rose up for, you don't want to go through with them. No. That gate it's planned where it's only the length of a car to go through there. So it's going to come down on you. It's not like the outgoing pass where you could keep going on that one. But incoming, it's one car at a time. So if you have another resident in front of you, let that resident go through, let the gate come down, and then when you come up on it, it'll open back up for you. So we had another incident, was fortunately not with the resident again. We've been doing good. Residents and staff have been great with this. But we had a vendor that was coming in, and the one was approved to go in, and the other one tried to piggyback on it, which you can't do that.
That's
so so the gate came down on them, and it's just not a good thing. We don't want that to happen if possible.
So entry one at a time.
One at a time.
One at a time for entry.
One at a time.
I think the last time we spoke about the gates was when I was on the show again.
That's
and you
right.
all kind of shared with all the residents.
That's right.
That I almost ran into the gate.
You did almost.
I did almost.
But you didn't.
But I didn't.
You were close.
And I'm very, very conscientious now.
Absolutely.
I will say, I have not come close since that day. And I had a lot of residents after the show share with me that they had come close
They'd
to
come
doing
close
the same
too.
thing. So
Okay,
it's something,
it could happen. And it was an
habit.
adjustment for us.
Yeah,
We weren't used to that gate yet, so I get that.
It's
I
habit.
get that.
I did on Kahoot. I asked them that question.
And Brian
Oh.
threw me under the bus on Kahoot. Okay.
Did he? What was the question?
So I think the question was, what staff member almost hit the gate going out?
It was
Oh.
Lisa, me, Cindy, and Whitney, and they voted for me.
And more people chose Brian than me as the answer. Oh, that makes my heart happy.
Wow.
Thanks, y'all.
But you know
Thank
that
you.
that tells me maybe nobody watches our show.
Or that. Or
I mean,
they
it could
just
be.
think or they think of me as a very safe person.
Well, that could be.
Maybe that's it.
And so what does that mean they think of Brian?
I'm young.
He's
Young. He's young.
He's young.
Okay.
He's young.
And not as safety conscious.
Not as, maybe.
Okay. Now,
Yeah.
I think there was also a question on there about, do you all, this was Cahoots, so this was on Monday, right?
This was on
This was
Monday.
an activity on Monday.
Yeah.
And a trivia game, Cahoots, and it's worth checking out, because I think every Monday they're going to try this.
And it's
Every Monday for this month.
Yes, and it is, I'll have to say, we did a trial run, right?
We did.
I lost terribly, but it is so much fun.
It was a lot of fun, absolutely. And one of the questions on there was a true or false question. Do you think Tom and Ken's jokes are funny? Well, apparently the answer was no. That's false. But all the residents picked true, that they are funny. So we appreciate that. I mean, it's great. The residents like Ken and Tom's jokes.
Apparently, or maybe they're just really bored right now.
Well, they
I
might
didn't
be.
mean to
They
say
might
that out
be.
loud, but
Because I'm
maybe
not sure if
so.
you would ask the staff if that answer would have been the same.
Well, Brian wrote that question, and he picked the answer. So
Oh, so it's really Brian's feelings.
it's Brian's opinion
Okay.
about the jokes.
Okay, I get it. Well, that would be why. So I don't know that Tom knows that.
We-
So it's probably good Tom isn't here today.
Yes, we probably won't share that.
We won't,
with
because
Tom.
Brian
Yeah.
might not get a raise ever again. So, okay. So I think that was it for updates today.
Okay.
We have a couple questions, I believe. Okay.
Okay.
The first one, could you have a question and answer section on Care Merge for all the questions that are addressed on the river churns? Sometimes I miss the show and want to stay informed. That's a great question.
That is a good
because,
question.
I mean, we hate for you to miss the show, but we do understand that there is life outside the 3 o'clock show.
Outside of the river, there's life.
There is, definitely. So I know we have been putting up the shows on Care Merge.
We have.
There's a section for that.
We have under videos, if you go to videos on the left-hand navigation bar, you'll see once you get on the videos page, it says as the River Churns YouTube link. So it will take you to the page where you'll see it's the River Landing YouTube page, and it has all of the episodes of As the River Churns, as well as like Jill's fitness classes and anything else
Sure,
that we've
sure.
broadcast and uploaded to YouTube.
So if you do want to catch it, it is on CareMerge already. Also, different announcements that we do on CareMerge.
We do.
You pull from some of our questions that we think are really important that folks need to know as well, because we do get it that not everybody's going to catch our show or want to catch our show. So we do also put those on the announcements.
We do.
But we will work on getting a page related to River Churns and questions and answers. So we're
yes.
going to work on that to see if we can come up with that for you all, because we kind of figure that we're going to be in this mode for a while.
Probably for a while.
So-
And it would be a good place to refer back if you're thinking, oh, I remember 2 months ago I watched
Right.
a show and Tom and Lisa said something about this and I can't remember.
Right, right.
So it would be
Exactly.
a good point of reference.
That way you don't have to watch the whole show just to get to the little section that has
Yeah.
the questions. I get that.
Exactly.
Yep.
And with CareMerge, you know, we've talked about this when Destiny and I did the show where we did just an overview of CareMerge. We are so glad we have that product during this time. Of course, when we picked it, you know, and chose that, we didn't know what we were coming
Sure,
into.
sure.
But we have been able to create a lot of cool pages on there for information and entertainment. So we definitely have the capability to do that. So we'll start working on going back and getting some of the most
Right,
important
right,
things
yeah.
and getting them up there.
So give us a little bit, but we will catch up on that and go back as far as we can.
That's a
from-
good suggestion.
Yeah.
And any other suggestions, as always, I'll use this to put in a
Absolutely.
plug for that we really want to know of other ideas. We've got one we're working on now that had come to us when Destiny and I did the show about a bulletin board on CareMerge for
Okay.
people who might have items they want to sell, or
Sure.
they're looking for something, or they have a surplus of something they want to just give away. A lot of people have been
Okay.
doing clean out right
Right,
now.
right,
Good time
sure.
to clean out closets and drawers. So we're going to create that. You know, we have the bulletin board in the mailroom,
Mm-hmm.
and people always have posted, you know, I have a chair for sale, or I have a printer for sale, or I
Right.
need one. So we're going to transition that same type of information and format to a page
Okay.
on CareMerge.
That's
So-
great, that's great.
And that was a resident suggestion.
Awesome. So any suggestions,
Yes,
get them your way.
yes, yes.
Okay.
Please.
One more question, and of course it has to be related to Spectrum. I can't get away from it.
I know.
Spectrum.
It's,
We
it's a
have had
cloud.
some more Spectrum outages again today.
I know.
So that's been going on as well. People's Wi-Fi, they did apparently an update last night,
goodness.
which has kicked out some folks from their internet connections, which is always wonderful.
Yes.
We have a Spectrum tech person out here right now.
Okay.
So we're seeing how far along they can get and figure out what the issue is. But this question's related to the bill. I think everybody probably saw the announcement and the information we put out related to Spectrum, you know, send out a bill to everyone, our entire campus, for $130 some.
Yeah.
So some folks didn't get them all at the same time either. So now I've had another wave come through where folks have been getting those bills again. And so I had a question related to that. Someone said, I received one of those bills from Spectrum for $131 plus my normal extra services for DVR. Do I need to pay this bill? Okay. The $130 some one, you don't pay that bill. But if you normally pay for a DVR service, or maybe you pay for HBO.
Right.
I'm trying to think what, maybe you have an extra HD box that's not covered in our bulk package. You still need to pay your regular monthly services.
Right.
So if anybody was confused by that, it wasn't, you don't pay your Spectrum bills anymore. You would still pay for your extras.
So if my bill is normally $50
Right,
and
right.
I get one for $181,
Sure,
I'm going to pay the $50.
correct.
But make sure I
Yes.
don't pay that $131.
Absolutely.
Because Spectrum is going to be issuing my account of credit for
Right,
that amount,
right,
right?
right, yes.
So
Yep.
But I don't want to get behind on my
Exactly,
regular.
you don't, because then they're going to start tacking on those
Late fees.
late fees.
Yep.
Because that's how it is.
That is
That's
just how it goes.
works.
Yep.
So, yeah, so just make sure you're still paying what you normally are supposed to be paying.
Okay. That's,
Yep, you don't want to get behind on that.
No. And create more confusion. 'cause
Exactly.
The longer it goes, the harder it is to
Absolutely,
figure out,
absolutely.
right?
So that was a great question. So thank you for asking that today. Okay, Cindy.
Okay,
Let's
Lisa.
talk about some other fun
Let's
stuff.
talk.
Okay.
What would you like to talk about?
Uh,
Think whatever I
Maybe-
want.
I don't think anything. Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Maybe future things you're thinking of. What's your department working on?
So-
Anything like that.
Yeah, so my team has learned to be incredibly creative. And so
Yes, they have.
we meet weekly to talk about what's something new we can do. Because, we're limited when
Right.
with options for activities and events. So I have been just thrilled with the things they have come up with. So we've had not one but two quarantine weeks. We had
Absolutely.
American Idol, which was a big hit.
Yes.
We're doing the Cahoots trivia, of course, this show, and we try
Right.
to use this time slot for different things. We started last week Aerial America, which that was a suggestion that came to us from a resident.
Right.
And it's a show on Smithsonian that features different towns. So we've asked, we put out a care merge survey and asked residents to let us know what their hometowns are. And so if I'm from, I'm from Hickory, so I was trying to think of a
Sure.
hometown. I can just use mine. So I'm from Hickory, and so if we're doing one on Hickory that night, then we're doing a little slide to show everybody that's from that hometown. So it's an opportunity for residents to learn a little bit more about each other
Sure.
as well. We've also been working with our Care Merge friends to create more search options to give residents more opportunities to connect with each other. So they're working on adding some more choices. So like hometown, college, those kind of things.
Okay.
We started talking today. Holidays are coming up, Lisa.
I know.
Can you believe it's almost September?
Exactly.
This year has been slow
flying.
and fast all at the same time, hasn't
Yes.
it?
And it's like a blur.
It
I mean, do
is.
we really remember the last 6 months?
I know. It's just
Not
very,
good.
very different. And,
Yes.
it has. And we were talking today about how our work life has really shifted a lot. What we're
Right,
doing is
right.
different than what we were 6 months ago.
Absolutely.
But we have always, at River Landing, holidays have been a fun, special time. And we know it's a little bittersweet thinking about it because we know going into it, it's going to be different, most likely.
Right.
Now, we could wake up tomorrow and God will have answered our prayers and there's a vaccine and we can get back to normal. But we have to plan as if that's not going to happen.
Right.
So we are already starting to think about what are some things we could do within the confines of what we can do now to really make the holidays still special, make the residents know how much we love them and how grateful we are that they're our family. So we're working on those thoughts.
Yep.
If residents have ideas, please, please, please,
Send
let
them to
us
you,
know.
right? Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
either Brian or myself, let us know what
Sure.
those are.
Sure.
So that's kind of where we're at. We're constantly trying to come up with new things, new pages on Care Merge. You know, we had the Get to Know Your Neighbor. That was a huge hit. Now we're doing Get to Know Your Staff.
Right,
So
right.
if you haven't checked that out, there have been some really,
There has.
really cool pictures. And the Bird Club's going to be doing a presentation. So, and if folks have thoughts on things they might want to present on this show or this time
Sure.
frame. You know,
Absolutely.
we're also working on putting together a segment where we are interviewing residents. And so we're going to do interviews and have some set questions and play that. So that's another opportunity that remotely neighbors can get to know each other.
Right,
So
right.
that's coming. Last week started Fun Friday.
I know.
So
But it's not this coming Friday.
So, okay,
It's next Friday.
it's next
I
Friday.
made the mistake, Cindy.
Okay.
I advertised this past Tuesday.
Yes.
That Friday was going to be Fun Friday again.
And it's not.
It's not.
It's not.
Aerial America.
Okay.
No, it's not. It's not. I did it again. It's the Greensboro Symphony tomorrow. And see, it was kind of funny.
I was like, Lisa, you're confusing me, and
No,
that doesn't
it's-
take a whole lot.
It's
but-
the Greensboro Symphony tomorrow.
Okay.
Because we had the fortunate ability to get the Greensboro Symphony to come.
Yes.
And Tom and I wondered on Tuesday, how do we have the Greensboro Symphony come here? It seems like a large group.
It does.
It's 2 people from the Greensboro Symphony.
Okay.
It's a flute and a harp.
A harp.
So it's a duo from the Greensboro Symphony.
That's super
So that's
cool.
going to be a special little
Yes,
surprise
it
for us.
will.
So,
And I know
yeah.
we've been working on Brian is constantly searching for new things like that. Like, I think we've checked into opera and some different things like that. So we're
That's
working
great.
on
It's
being.
exciting things.
It is.
Your team is very
exciting.
creative. So
They have
that-
really, they've really impressed me and gone above and beyond. So I'm
Yeah.
very
Absolutely.
grateful. And we have residents with amazing ideas. That's one thing that, anytime I do new resident orientation and I'm sharing about River Landing, I always say one of the things that makes us who we are is that everything we do is driven by the residents. It's not
Absolutely.
us sitting around the table going, well, what do we think they want to do?
Right.
It's all resident driven. So
Absolutely. Even during pandemic time.
It's still
We're
still
taking
been
your
that
lead,
way.
so just keep sending your suggestions.
Yes, we want them, we need them, we appreciate them, and we want what we do to be what residents want, because
Right,
it's for
right.
them. So that's very
Yep.
important
Absolutely.
for us.
Tom was on a call the other day and talking about other CCRCs, what they're doing.
Right.
And really, we're pretty far ahead right now.
Yeah.
Absolutely, even with the activities, the things we've been doing, using our Channel 1390, which was really repaired in a really good time.
I
It gave
know.
us a much better product now with all the changes that we've had done to it. A lot of communities don't have a station like this where they're able to broadcast, so being able to use this has been great. With even our housekeeping services, he found out yesterday that a lot of folks still are not providing housekeeping services. For some of them, it's been because of their staffing. Some communities are having trouble with staffing because of the virus.
Yes.
So things like that. So really feeling good about where we're at, being able to provide the services that we are right now, with housekeeping and, doing it when the residents aren't in there. That
Right.
keeps the two, away from each other, so it's not really,
But residents still get those
but residents still get the
services.
service.
Yeah.
Yes, so it's finding out ways. I think we've been very creative here of finding ways to provide a service, but yet still maintain safety.
Yes, and we've
So-
learned to think that way. I mean, even outside
Absolutely.
of work, my brain kind of works like that now.
Right,
And I know
right.
a lot of residents know that, my mother is in an assisted living community.
Right.
And they are doing no activities. And
Right.
every time I share with her things we're doing using this system,
Sure.
she always says, oh, I wish we had something like that.
Right,
and
right.
I've told her about as the river churns, I keep her up to speed on what we're doing, and she says, that would be so nice to have that.
right.
And
Still have
they,
a connection somehow with
right,
folks.
exactly.
Right.
They have their meals delivered still, which I know a lot of
That's-
the communities Tom was speaking about.
Exactly.
They're still just doing delivery,
They're still
right?
doing delivery or pickup. So for
Yeah.
us to be able to even have a dine-in option, that's a huge benefit right now.
It's unusual.
It
Not
it
many
is.
places
It
are
is.
doing that.
Yep.
So,
And we've just really thought through things. How can we do an amenity as safe as possible?
yes.
So it's constantly things that we're working on like that. I know sometimes it seems like we're not thinking or opening up things quick enough, but we really want to think through it and be able to provide a service, but we have to do it in a safe way. So we really try to think through all those kind of things.
And we put a lot, we are I'll have to say for me as a staff member, it's really an honor to be part of a team that's so progressive but strategic at the same
Right,
time.
right.
So
That's a
we
good way to
are
say it.
really
Yes.
trying to be very thoughtful.
Right.
But we also are aware that folks are, none of us plan to be here this long.
Right,
Right?
right,
And
right.
we know it's getting old for a
Right,
lot of people.
right.
So we are trying to keep it fresh and keep it different and keep things
Mm-hmm.
coming, and like you said, as safely as we can
Right,
possibly do it.
absolutely.
So, and we've had a lot of support with that. I've had a lot of residents
We
just
have.
say, and I know you guys get it all the time too,
Yeah.
thank you for all you're doing.
Absolutely.
So we appreciate that. That helps us a great deal.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, anything else, Cindy?
Am I supposed to have something else?
No.
Okay, cool.
Think we're good.
Because I can.
I think we're good.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I think
Yep.
bingo tonight with Brian,
Oh, yeah.
that.
You can't
Bri-
miss that.
Brian's bingo hour, and Destiny and I did bingo for him
How did that
when he
go?
was on vacation. It was a blast, actually. It was harder than I thought it would be with managing the phone calls because you know what it's like. Our folks love bingo, and so when they're
Right.
winning, they're calling, and if you're on the phone, they
Right,
keep
right.
calling.
Sure,
So
sure.
he handles that beautifully, and it gave me a whole new respect for that. So it was
That's
good
good.
for me to do that. And we, most of my budget right now is going to bingo candy. So that's a big
A
thing.
lot of budget is going to candy.
A lot of it's going to candy, but that's okay. Yeah.
Well, very good. Okay, well, we're to the birthday section, Cindy.
Birthdays.
Yes,
Happy birthdays.
yes. So we have happy birthday today to Pat Smoke and Terry Berry.
Happy
And
birthday.
tomorrow, Ann Manning, May Bowles, Beverly Plyman, Gail Nutty, and Louise Neese.
My goodness, that's
So
a lot of
birthdays tomorrow.
for one
Yes,
day. And
yes.
I'm going to share this because I have her permission to do that. But I
Okay.
ran into Ann Manning
Okay.
today in the bistro, and she was telling me it was her birthday. And I said, you don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but do you mind telling me how old we're going to be? And she said, oh my goodness, I'm proud to share it. She will be 96.
Wow.
96
That is amazing.
tomorrow. Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
So I was very excited for her. And
That's awesome.
I didn't tell
That's
her I was
awesome.
sharing it on the TV show, but she said she didn't care. Who knows? So
Congratulations, Ann.
yes.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Then for staff birthdays, tomorrow we have someone, Steve Hickok, and a lot of you probably know him from the Golf and Grounds team.
Right.
So, and then that gets us through the weekend. The next week when we're on the show, we'll go through next week.
And don't forget, we also have on camera the shout-out page. So
Okay.
if someone says, hey, Cindy, my neighbor is celebrating and I want to recognize her, or if we have family members sometimes call us
Okay.
and say, we have an anniversary on there right now that a family called and said, we want to make sure mom and dad get recognized for this
Very
special
cool.
anniversary. So
That's awesome.
we put those on there as well.
Okay, that's
So
great.
don't forget to check that out.
Okay. And so they can also send you the special.
And they can. If there's
great.
somebody you're friends with, you've got a neighbor, you want to make sure we recognize
Sure.
them that way,
Okay.
just let us know. And if you have something special, sometimes people send us a card they've created, and we can post that, or we can make one for you if
Okay.
you want to do that.
That's
So,
awesome.
yeah, Destiny is the
She's-
queen of the flyers and
She's
creating.
got all of that down.
She is.
Yes.
It's awesome.
Yep. Okay, we're to the trivia, and I just looked, and we do have a winner, too, so that's awesome.
So somebody knew what we didn't
Somebody
know.
knew, yep.
That's good.
So the question was, who was the 23rd president? And the answer is Benjamin Harris from 1889 to 1893.
So they knew the years too?
They did not.
They did not.
No, I just thought I'd share that, just for some
And
extra
I just pointed
information.
it out, sorry. But that's good to know. That's good. Now we all know, right?
Exactly. So the winner today is Howie Zweifel.
Howie.
Zweifel.
Zweifel.
I struggle with that name, so,
No.
well, congratulations, Howie. You are the winner of the River Landing hat and $10 gift card. So, good prize for the day.
Yes, that is a good prize.
Yep. Our prize on Tuesday was the river landing tumblers. We showcased those on Tuesday. We have
Nice.
sold a ton of them since the show.
Oh, that's awesome.
So make sure, stop by the pro shop and get your tumbler.
They're nice.
They are great. They're great. They also make good gifts too.
Yes.
Okay, so tomorrow, just as a review, Greensboro Symphony, but it's a duo. It's the harp and flute duo. So they'll be here tomorrow, 3 o'clock. You don't want to miss that. That should be a great
That
program.
should be.
So to be anything from Greensboro Symphony,
It's always
top notch.
So good.
Yeah.
Yes.
and then next week, Monday, it's going to be the Cahoots game. So that's the trivia game. And it's going to be highlighting the 1950s. Trivia from the 1950s.
That should be fun.
You should be able to get that trivia,
I
Cindy,
knew that
right?
you were going to see. I knew we wouldn't make it through the whole show without
that's
without
your-
an age joke.
That's your era, right?
If Tom was here, no, I was
No.
not born in the 1950s.
Oh,
If Tom
that's
was
right.
here, I could say what I always say, which is I will always be younger than you, which is true.
But you can't say
I
that.
can't say that to you.
But it's close. We're close.
We're so close.
We're close in age.
We're a lot closer than you want people to think we are.
Well, that's
I
true.
think.
We are very close. Tuesday is Aerial America again.
Fun.
Wednesday, River Churns.
Oh, my goodness.
Yep. Thursday is the Bird Club, and it's Bluebirds over River Landing.
That
So you
should be
don't want to
good.
miss that one. And then Friday, we're bringing back Fun Fridays with Brian and Destiny.
And I've heard a little bit about this one coming
Have
up.
you?
It's going to be
gonna
something.
be a good
so you do not want to miss it.
Okay, okay. Well, we always end with some jokes, Cindy.
Oh, I was hoping
Okay.
we wouldn't have to do that today.
But
okay.
these really aren't Tom and Ken's jokes. These are from a resident today.
Okay.
So maybe
Maybe-
that's why they like Tom and Ken's jokes now, because they come from residents.
Well, that could be it.
I
That
think
could
that's
be
it. I just figured it out.
Yeah.
That's why.
That's probably why.
Yep. But before we do some jokes, I had, Donna Hollis has given me some jokes today and some other things. So I want to
Okay.
read a couple things first, just in case you did not know. That's what these are.
That
So
should be
these are kind of like
interesting.
fun facts, actually.
Okay.
Glass takes 1 million years to decompose,
Wow.
which means it never wears out and can be recycled an infinite amount of times. Who knew that about
I
glass?
didn't know that.
So that's pretty cool.
That is cool.
Gold is the only metal that doesn't rust, even if it's buried in the ground for thousands of years.
I feel like I believe that. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like that's not hard to wrap
It's
my head
gold
around. 'Cause
buried.
it's gold.
Yeah, that makes sense. This is an interesting one.
Okay.
Your tongue
Oh, dear.
is the only muscle in your body that is attached at only one end. You don't think about
You
that.
don't, but if you think about it, that makes sense.
Yes.
But yes, you're right. I would
Yep.
have never thought about that.
I know. If you stop getting thirsty, you need to drink more water. When a human body is dehydrated, its thirst mechanism is off.
Well, that makes sense. I guess the body's trying to,
But it'll tell you you're
conserve.
not thirsty,
That's-
but you really are.
That's interesting.
And let's see, one more. Kites were used in the American Civil War to deliver letters and newspapers.
Now, I did not know that.
I've liked to fly a kite. There's times I
That's
did that
fun.
as a young
Yeah.
person.
Did you ever fly a letter or a newspaper?
I
to
didn't.
send
I never
anybody?
thought about it.
You could try that.
I could next time. So kites were used in the American Civil War. Interesting. That could have been a trivia question.
It could have been.
Dang
You
it.
just gave it away.
I know. Okay, I'm going to save some others for another day, but those are
Okay,
great ones
those
from
are
Donna
good.
Hollis. And she had some cute little jokes for
Oh,
me
good.
today. So let's get to that part.
Okay.
Okay? And these are just little snips, okay? I never thought I'd be the kind of person who'd wake up early in the morning to exercise. And I was right.
That's one of those things I always say I'm going to do, right?
Right.
I'm going to get up early. I'm going to do all
Yeah.
this stuff.
Does it ever happen? I know. It's a good idea, but
It's a great idea.
yeah. A lot of our residents here exercise in the morning.
I know.
I see them out my window from my office.
I know.
Out on the
Or-
croquet court, very dedicated
Or
group.
out of the window of my car when I'm...
See?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, you know you're getting older when a recliner and a heating pad is your idea of a hot date. That's pretty cute.
That's good.
Yep.
That's very good.
Grandma once said, sometimes you have to hug the people you don't like so you know how big to dig the hole in your backyard.
Oh, my goodness. Stay away from Grandma, right?
That's right. Oh. They say do what you love and money will follow. So I ate cheesecake and drank some wine. Now I wait.
I think
cute.
that's what they meant.
Okay, this is a good one to end on.
Okay.
It's an exercise one.
Okay,
Okay?
I'm ready.
I did a push-up today. Well, actually, I fell down, but I had to use my arms to get back up. So, close enough.
Close enough. That's right. Those are great.
Those are great. So thank you, Donna, for sending me those. And you all know we need material. We're not good if you
Yes.
leave it up to ourselves to pick the material. So just make sure, be sending us stuff, and we do appreciate anything that you can send us related to jokes, any activity suggestions,
Yes.
anything like that.
Yes, because
So-
if they don't pick the jokes, Tom will.
Whew.
So that's a great disclaimer,
And we
right?
know
That's a
when
great
he's
way
on
to
his own,
promote it.
it's not good.
It's not good.
It's not good.
Yes.
So, well, we appreciate you all. We feel like we're part of your family. So for us,
Yes.
we enjoy doing this show. For me, and I'm sure for Cindy too,
Yeah.
it brings it's a connection that I feel that I'm hoping many of you are out there watching us.
I know.
And it's just a time to be able to have some,
Well, that's been one of the hard things for us is we see residents, but not
but not in the same way that we
not the
could
s-
before.
Not the same as
Right,
before, and
right.
I miss that.
I know.
I miss that terribly. So
Yeah.
this is a great way to do that, and
Right.
we love you guys, and
Yeah.
we hope you enjoyed Girl Power Hour, right?
Absolutely. I think we rocked it.
I think we did.
I think we did
It was
good.
good, and if you feel like we did, write Tom and tell him. We
T.
want him to
Smith
know.
at River Landing.
SR.org. Yeah, we're not going to get raises for a while either now.
No,
but
we're
that's
not either.
okay.
We're going to be in trouble after
Yes.
this. So, but once again, thank you all. We love you and have a great day.
Love you. Mwah.